All right, live from Austin, baby. What's up? We have Dylan Sullivan here with us and Kyle Lucey.
What up? What up?
Welcome to the Puzhitsky pod. This is fucking insane. Austin, Texas, man.
It's crazy. It's a city and a state.
It's a city and a state.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah. Welcome, Dylan. Give yourself a little intro for whoever.
Hey, my name's Dylan. How's it going, everybody?
Yeah.
I am
Yo,
Dylan.
what's up?
Hello.
I'm here. No, yeah, Dylan's, we just met like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I saw you do a set at East Austin Comedy Club. Fucking loved it. You're hilarious.
That's a real fun club.
Yeah, it's
because it
insane.
can go either way.
Yeah.
So, it's a building, like a abandoned almost looking building, and then you walk in and it's like a tight little kill box. And I love it. There's a place in Toronto that's very similar. The real ones will know, Keys Comedy Club.
Comedy Club.
That's the Keys Comedy Club of Austin.
Is that the hang? Like when comics go, or not?
Honestly, when you said that, like, it is mostly that. So it is a dude who is a very special guy. He bought what used to be a dentist's office
Nice.
on the
Hell yeah.
third floor of a corporate building that basically looks like a residential building. You have to take a fire escape to get into it. Mm-hmm. So people buy tickets. He uses Google Ads to get people in. He packs like 20, 25, 30 people in there. Sometimes, usually, like, people come, they're like, what the fuck is this? We're gonna get drugged. So it's so fun because the comics go out there and people are literally scared. You have to get them on your side.
That's amazing though.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
And then we're chilling. There's like a green room, which is really somebody's fucking bedroom who actually lives there. And we're just chill. Like, literally, for the first time ever, like a few weeks ago, we were hanging out, and somebody who like rents or lives there actually came in, and they were like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah. The reviews are really
Damn.
funny. He's like they advertise like Kevin Hart's coming tonight. They'll just say that, and everyone's like reviews like we went and a fucking possum bit my ankle. Like, this is not what we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
So he's hilarious. Yeah.
So, Dylan, you're from LA originally, right?
So I was born in San Antonio, Texas, and then grew up in Colorado. Then went Chicago, LA here.
Okay,
So I've been moving all over.
Oh, you're OG Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So
Yeah.
it's come full circle for you, and now you're in Austin. You're killing it.
Oh, it's. I mean, I'm trying, dude. They're trying to get me to leave, but I'm gonna stay.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love Austin.
Good.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
and you're on the crew at the fucking Mothership, which is unreal. How's that like?
Oh, I love it. Like, it's pretty incredible to watch because a lot of old friends, new friends, everyone's life elevating and their comedy elevating. It's really cool to watch.
Absolutely, and I feel like, we've only been here for a couple of days, and comedy is, it's entertainment. There are interesting characters. There's all this, like, I've never been, like, I was interesting to see what it's like to be like the new guy on a scene, but like, man, I can't say I've met anybody who hasn't been like so nice and welcoming to us. You know what I mean? So I really feel like with whatever magic there is in the air, everybody's really just like supporting each other and helping each other get to the next level. Like, one of you guys does better, everybody does better. I really feel that, which is like, people say that a lot for different scenes, but I really feel that here. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And it's weird because I've noticed the competitiveness here it feels like a healthier competitiveness than like other scenes. Sometimes it feels less like, oh, I'm being competitive because I want to be funnier, rather than I'm being competitive because I want XYZ.
Yeah.
It is super interesting because I do feel like just watching, comedians on stage and stuff like that, everybody seems so free here. Like, they're just no one's like trying to like be a certain way. Everyone's just really themselves and like that warm, gooey center of whoever you are. It's very interesting. Like, it's like the race to be the race to be yourself.
Right.
And it's been really cool to see different comedians just do their thing. Like, we saw Casey Rocket, and he's just insane.
Special.
Yeah,
He's hilarious.
I love Casey because I think there's this misconception that Austin is this like just kind of like right wing edgelord stuff, and it couldn't be farther from the truth. There's so many different types of hilarious people like Casey Rocket that are just so unique. So it's cool to see like that all those sorts of acts are accepted. in the scene.
Not only accepted, but I feel like celebrated, because there's like so many unique styles here. I think basically what you were trying to say is that I think like here, being yourself first is more important than just like trying to do what like just works, right? You can do jokes that work, but like I feel like here it's really rewarded if you just are vulnerable on stage, and the more unique you are, like the better you'll do here, which might not necessarily be like, there's like fucking, you can find novelty acts everywhere, but here that it's something different. It's not like people really just want to see you for who you are, which is interesting with like an audience too, that they like a guy like Key is a great example, right? The guy who owns Key's Comedy Club, the place we were talking about.
Yeah.
People don't get him. He's a very weird, eccentric guy. It's all, whenever he goes up, the audience doesn't get it, but the comics in the back, like he's never like nobody's made me laugh more than him. You have to get it, and I feel like people here just get it.
they like get the what do they get like
somebody like Casey, right? Mm-hmm. I've never seen whatever he does. I've never seen that before, right?
Yeah, right.
Like if you write that down on a piece of paper and say I'm gonna do this on stage, you'd be like, okay,
Right.
let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And if somebody sees him doing his act, right, an audience member, not a comic, they might not be on board, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like here people are on board. Like they get what's going on. You
It's
know
a
what I
very
mean?
comedy savvy
Yeah.
like audience. Whether
Yeah.
it's
For
like
sure. For
you know
sure.
people are. I was here 3 years ago, right? And it's so different than when I came. Like I noticed that.
Yeah,
just,
what did you notice from being here to then to now?
So last time I came, I could sort of not see what people meant in terms of edgelord, but I feel like the scene has turned into like, I don't want to call it alt comedy, but a very like, it rewards silly. It rewards fun. It rewards funny. Like it's, and that's the frequency to tune into as opposed to anything other than that. And in that, like just like the closest towards whatever your funny is to be rewarded. And yeah, and I feel like the crowds too are obviously fans of the biggest comedians on earth, and they know what comedy is. Like you don't really have to like show them what, you don't need to win them over like, oh shit, I'm doing like a really rough bar right now. No, they're coming to laugh, and they're aware of who all the comics are. So it's really cool. This is like all of our Uber drivers too.
Yeah, they're nice. There's a misconception that Canadians are nice people, right?
Okay.
The stereotype.
Yeah.
That could not be further from the truth, because what people don't realize, most Canadians live on the border with the US in those big cities like BC and Toronto and like whatever.
Yeah.
And like they are not nice. They have that big city mentality. You go on the subway, like you say like hi to everyone or anyone or sorry. They're like, you bump into someone on the subway, they're like, what the fuck are you doing, bud? Like, but in a Canadian accent.
Yeah.
Either that, or if you're in Toronto, they go like, yeah, what she was doing, cuz. Like, fucking, they're not nice. You can't talk. Here, I don't know whether it's like the southern hospitality or the fact that like you don't know whether the person you're talking to has a gun or not.
Yeah.
That makes them nicer, but whatever it is, people are way nicer here than I've experienced like in Canada, in Toronto, where I live.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. We're not too big of assholes.
I think maybe it used to be the case 20 years ago. That's a weird stereotype. I've never, whenever I come here, I don't know.
Canadians aren't nice.
No,
I feel like Canadians.
I think guys
after
of Drake,
nice,
they're a little high on their own Kool-Aid.
Yeah, under the guise of being nice, it just becomes passive aggressive. Whereas here, like I suppose you would just sort of speak your mind more.
Oh, okay.
And I get a fucking boner when I see an American flag flapping in the blue sky. God damn, I'm feeling it. I held an American dollar the other day, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna buy something with this.
Yeah,
I gotta say, our money
makes me want to fucking headbutt a waitress.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. Land of the free, baby. Where's my gun?
Let's get headbutt.
Yeah,
I love headbutting.
the Targets, bro. We don't have that anymore. I miss those. We used to have Target, but
What happened?
I don't know. I guess Canadians didn't get it. They're like, we don't have guns. What the fuck are we gonna shoot? What are all these
Oh, I thought
Targets
you meant
for?
like Target the store.
No, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That was just a bad joke. I'm sorry.
You know what's cool too? We bought beer at Target.
Yeah, we bought
last
beer
night.
at Target
We
for
were
like
like,
$10.
It's
$10
right
for a
beside-
6-pack. That's sick. What was I gonna say? No, but like it's a different vibe. But like like you were in LA, right? Doing comedy. Like you weren't born in LA, but like how do you feel? Because we're from Canada. The crowds there are completely different. Just going to the US anywhere, you'll have a different crowd, right?
Sure.
But how do you feel like LA to Austin, right? Like what is the main difference you experience coming here as a comedian? You know, not only the crowds, but just like opportunity and like why did you decide to move here?
Yeah, so I worked as a door guy at the Comedy Store, and then the pandemic hit, and I had just gotten my first credit right before the pandemic hit, and so I was like, all right, only up from here, you know?
Yeah.
And then everything stopped. And then I just got super bored, and Brian Redband had already moved out here, and he's like, hey, you should move here. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I probably should. I wasn't doing anything at the time. So I moved over, and coming here, the difference in the audiences really depends, because I was either at the Comedy Store mostly, or I was in this place called Fourth Wall, which was it used to be a State Farm insurance room. It was just this black room, and it was fucking terrible. And but it was awesome because you could sign up for mics all day. So I was either in really good crowds or the worst crowds imaginable.
Yeah.
So then moving here, it was so cool because there's so many different levels of shows. Like, in addition to all the clubs, they've got so many independent shows here.
Absolutely.
And especially once they were just coming out of the pandemic, it was like getting real creative. Like there's that Opa one, where it's like the outside of a, shop. And then, so I think on all levels, there's just more different types of rooms in Austin, which I really appreciate.
We did notice that.
Yeah. And I think I really relate to what you said about LA being either like a shitty room with 3 people or like an amazing show with like 100, because that's exactly what we have in Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
Because if you're not rich, you're poor.
Yes.
That's like the mentality there.
Literally. Yeah.
If you're not famous, you're
That's
not.
what we have in Toronto. Like, so yeah.
Well, it does seem, Toronto's sort of like, they have YukYuks, which is basically like the only national chain of clubs. And so if you want to perform for a couple hundred people, you have that. There's also like couple one-offs of a couple hundred people. Other than that, you're like begging 6 people to come and watch you.
And then those people become the gatekeepers, and they're such fucking assholes.
Yes.
A large majority of them.
Yes.
It's definitely hard, especially with the issue of scarcity. It becomes very like, you are holding on to a door.
Because then they have that power.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the thing I like about Austin is like free market, The people just open up rooms all the time. And if it's like, if I'm not getting stage time, I'll make it. And that's like a really cool mentality here.
Yeah.
Since there's so much abundance, then there's less power on this. Oh, you're not going to book me in a show? I'll go somewhere else. It's fine. No worries.
Yeah, literally.
Right.
So they're like that takes the ability for people to become gatekeepers away and make such like a more inclusive community, because if nobody, like if everybody has the potential to start their own show, you want to be nice to everybody and you don't want to like, burn any bridges essentially, right? Whereas like if in one of the, like in a Toronto or LA kind of spot, who those people are, and you're just like, their DMs are filled with like open micers and comics just going like, can I have a spot please? Like, and you're just like, fuck,
Right.
I remember one time in Toronto, I booked a show and
that's the worst.
Bro, I had a girl like dancing and like shaking her bits on me, and she goes, like I had like 2 women booked on my show, so it wasn't, I always made sure I booked appropriately. But she's like, I really think you should book a woman on your show. I was like, what are you trying to do right now for 5 minutes? It's like, like the currency of stage time there is just so valuable. But I had to leave.
People have to like prostitute themselves in all sorts of ways to get into these sick shows.
I could just give you a spot. Like you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
I like you. You're
Please,
funny.
Put your sweater back on. Yeah,
So
no,
I'm just so used to doing this.
Yeah.
dude, the scarcity really brings out like the worst of humanity.
Yeah, no, honestly, absolutely. But what's cool about Austin is that it genuinely feels, I think, like these huge clubs moving here, I'm comparing to the last time I came, I think it's genuinely changed the economy of Austin. Like you're walking down on these streets and it's like, if you just open up a comedy club, it's like, it sort of blows up.
And it's not only comedy, there's music here too. It's like there's plenty going on.
Yeah.
But comedy is definitely, there's an emphasis on that here, but there's so much more, right?
Yeah, and like, which is cool because, so if you just run a show, I feel like the trickle off, you're going to have audience. So it's like, it feels like, and especially since Joe Rogan is like one of the biggest comics on earth, it's not necessarily an industry here. It's like comic run. It feels. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very comic focused. It's like just about developing a bunch of great comics, which is so cool.
Which is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So, crew at the Mothership, that like, despite all of the spots and all the opportunity, that's like, you're in the fucking, that's the golden ticket basically here, right? You get to go up and like, what's that like?
I mean, it's awesome. Yeah. So, I love doing it. For the first time in my life, I can do comedy full time. And because I'm not really like a name or anything, but I'm doing comedy full time. And that's just like, that's my dream,
It's awesome.
That just made me smile. Like, genuinely, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I feel like that's exactly. So at the end of the day, right? Like what happened was that Joe, like a gazillionaire, right? But a comic first, made like, this is his little like, dream project, right?
Yeah.
So, this has been said a million times, but yeah, he made like the perfect club for comedians, but that's really what it is. Like we went up there for the first time yesterday at their open mic, right? And like I was saying, like, like I don't get that nervous before shows often, right? But I was like, I had to like,
everyone gets nervous in that room the first time. It's just like, it'll get you.
It got me, bro. It got me. And I was fucking nervous. Like this guy did his breathing technique.
I had to do an ancient Chinese breathing technique. I was like, breathe in for 4, hold for 7, breathe out for 8. And
that's what I do too. Like sometimes I'll have nights where I'll literally just be in the corner waiting to go out. I do all the way in, then 2 inhales at the top, and then exhale, and I'll do that for like a couple minutes.
Breath work, boy.
Because it can be so scary sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like fucking intimidating.
I'm not on this. I don't do breath work. I just fucking like slap my own ass and hope I don't cough. Like,
but that works too.
Yeah.
That works too.
Yeah. What do you did this like 4, 6, 8, 4 in, hold 4, 7. Which one?
Yeah, pretty much what Dylan just said. Yeah, you'll breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and breathe out for 8, and it just lowers your heart rate. Because I have a Fitbit on me just to always make sure, I stick to my time. But also, like, I looked and I was sitting down. And I'm a pretty healthy guy. My resting heart rate, not to brags, in the 60s.
Yeah,
but
damn, that's crazy. You're a lizard, dude.
Yeah, I could drop it down. I could hide myself on thermo radar if I wanted to. But
hell yeah.
But I was sitting down and it was at like 115.
Yeah.
So it was fucking booming out of my chest. It was the first time I've ever done that. And in Canada, we're such fans of people in America, so it's like every day I'm like watching you guys. So the fact that I'm there was so surreal, and I definitely had to.
I need one of those Fitbits, bro. That's like
it's a great comedy tool.
Rate, and then you just told me, because I just ran the light at a thing I did for the first time, and that's never good because I didn't like, I'm in a new place. I don't know where the light is, and like when you have a Fitbit, you can just check, like you start the timer and you know exactly where you are. Because the Mothership, you got that clock, you got the countdown. There's no problem, but not everywhere has that.
Plus, if you do a lot of act outs, you're getting some steps, so not bad.
I also for content, a buddy of mine who's like really good with like filming stuff, he does content and stuff. So for stand-up specifically, if you want good audio, like for at least the Apple Watch the new ones have a good enough mic where you can use the Apple Watch audio.
That's what Red Band was telling me, and then the mic is so like you got the watch here, and then the mic is good.
Literally, the mic is good enough, so you can overlap. Like you can use your audio from the mic on the watch, and use whatever audio you have in your camera, and you have like an audience track for the laughs more so, and your audio, and together you can make it like really crisp.
That's so cool.
That's
yeah,
cool.
that I'm probably gonna get an Apple Watch or whatever.
I usually lean my phone on a packet of cigarettes,
Yeah,
and then
literally.
someone burps and it falls off. It just records like a fucking cockroach just biting a piece of cheese on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even watch the. I just see the 2 seconds of the video and I submit it to a festival.
Yeah.
Hope for the best, boys. I'm gonna win that, bro.
That's hilarious, man. Yeah.
And then I forget to turn it off, and I just admit to crimes at the end. I didn't know she was 16. Fuck.
I always thought about that, dude, just because I have like, almost thousands of recordings on my phone. And it's like, if I ever am on trial someday and they comb through those things, they can paint me to be the worst human imaginable.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Just, the things you say, like, at a shitty mic, the things I've said in rooms of 5 people.
Bro.
Yeah,
terrible.
Exactly, because with that many people, to rev up that engine, you sort of gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta,
Let's go.
You know?
you gotta open up with something like, the Jews, what about those guys? Not so cool,
This guy has 1,000 recordings starting with "So the Jews."
Yeah.
But what did I say the other day? This is horrible, and maybe we'll cut this out. But I was just trying to make him laugh, so I just said, "Let's try."
It was like 2 a.m. We were not falling asleep, and
we're
this guy.
sleeping together in the same fucking
Well,
bed.
let me tell the story about how it was from my perspective, right? We come home, it's like 2 a.m. We just did a couple shows. We're fucking like, we have like 1 beer in us, and we're like, tired.
We're spooning.
Yeah, we're spooning because we're sharing a bed here in Austin. And Kyle's like, yo, you think if you crack a head...
No. You got to take a crowbar and bash a Jew's head open, and then coins fall out like a piñata, and then tiny, smaller Jews quickly run to grab the coins, and you stomp on them like ants.
And they explode
trying to
into
make them
smaller
laugh.
coins.
I love Jewish people. I was just trying to make them laugh. But yeah, like that's really bad. And then he sent me a Marcus Aurelius quote. My lady's trying to quit smoking, and I tried to say the quote, but that opened up, and I was like, all right. And then I told her that, and I think we're broken up now.
Yeah.
Because damn Marcus Aurelius always bringing up these relationships.
Fuck, man.
Biggest cop block.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I've actually never thought about that, and that's not good. I have a lot of questionable stuff from open mics.
For sure, but everybody does. And if you don't think a comic does, then you're wrong.
Why do you think Austin's all right?
Yeah,
this is what they're gonna pull. They're gonna pull that
Death by bashing.
yeah. Jesus
mini
Christ.
Jews.
Dude, mini Jews will
Mini
get
Jews that you can stomp on like a Mario, like one of those Oompa Loompas that explode into
what is that
penny.
Gulliver's
Oh my
Traveler
God.
where he wakes up tied up?
Yeah.
That's just like, oh, the Jews got me. Those little buggers. Just like fucking tickling your feet. Like, get up. Hey, man. Jews.
Come to Austin, Texas.
Yeah, guys, this is. Yeah, see, you can't say this shit in Canada,
Dude,
bro.
honestly,
Is it really?
it's
Is it that
crazy.
crazy as they say?
You know what's crazy? Yeah, like, okay, so we did a podcast. Remember when we did your podcast at your place?
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, yeah, that's retarded. And was like, we can't say that because I remember how stiff I was then?
Yeah. Well, like it's not. Well, this podcast is going on the internet anyway, so it's not like. But literally, just in general, like when you're talking to people, right? And like we can joke about this now because in context, it's a joke. Like we don't fucking hate Jews, and we don't.
Right, because if we hated Jews, we wouldn't be saying that at all.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Imagine, yeah.
It's like if you're gay, you're the number one guy that's like, yo, I'm not gay. You know what I mean? Like we wouldn't be like talking
But that's
about
just the
it.
thing. Like I feel like
Right,
Austin,
right.
it goes without saying. It's it's funny. You know what I mean? Whereas like where we're from, even if it's funny, like it's crazy. Like there's 2 different sort of scenes in Canada. There's out west, and then there's more central. Out west, if you bomb on stage and get off stage, you're a leper. No one fucking talks to you. In Toronto, if you murder on stage, but you said like the type of comedy that we're talking about right now,
Yeah.
murdered, you're
Yeah.
a leper.
Yeah,
If you bomb on stage,
that's so
but it's
tragic.
appropriate, you're like, oh, we love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much, a lot of clapter. I'm guessing. clapper comedy.
pandering, yeah. That's the thing, and like that's again like
I still like Canada. Don't get me wrong. Like we're it has a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, we like it so much
just,
that like there's nothing we would want to do more than to get out.
Well, I don't,
that's how much we like it.
Canada is a market. It's a smaller market, right? Like it's not. It has its issues, it has its problems, but I think it's best for a comedian to be based in America. And then, yes, if you want to tour, you could go to Canada and do dates and go to Europe and do dates or Australia or whatever, but be based in here. Because I feel like when you live in Canada, we don't have the news on social media. They banned
What do you mean?
Yeah.
They banned the news on our social media.
So we have our government passed this bill called Bill C-18, where
Cuck 18.
Cuck 18, social media news outlets are banned in Canada. So our biggest social media news outlet would be it's called Narcity.
Yeah, but on our social media. So
on our social media,
you
right?
can independently look it up.
No,
But, yeah.
So literally, if
really?
right now I'm able to see Narcity's page if I pull it up, but when you're in Canada, you can't see the news pages. And the reason they're saying they're doing this is to because social media is the primary means that by which people consume their news now. It's taken away ad revenue from like the legacy media. So like in Canada it would be like CBC, right? Canadian Broadcast, whatever, stuff like that. So those like, and just whatever, newspapers, Toronto Sun, this, that, nobody cares about that anymore because they just go on Twitter and look at Narcity and there's your news. So those companies that have been making so much money for so long are basically going bankrupt. And our government now literally banned social media news sites on our, like this is, you're looking at me like I'm crazy right now. This is what happened in Canada. Did you not hear about this?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
That's insane.
It does trickle down into the art because you sort of like, you just don't want to have your livelihood taken away.
Yeah,
so you sort of just like, it does, I notice it too.
Very
like,
motivating to play along.
Yeah, like you just sort of like, I personally want to keep being able to do stand-up because this is all I've ever wanted to do. But definitely that's what I mean about being more free here, because I don't feel any border right now. I could say what I want. And if it's not funny, that's the border. Like the frequency is funny.
And literally there is an effect where like when I stepped off the plane here, I kind of just felt like lighter a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I talked to a few people. I looked at like, I fucking pulled up Narcity on my Instagram. I'm like, okay, now I can see it. And I'm like, wow. Like, because man, like, history books are written for a reason, right? Like once you get into that territory, it's literally censorship. It's full on censorship, right? We've had that before quite recently. And we just talked about Jews. It didn't go that well for them, right? When that happened. So like where people are saying like, don't say this word, don't say that word. You can't like look at like, I think that being like this emphasis on woke culture and all of these social issues is a way to distract people from what the fuck is actually going on. Cause like we're talking about, all of these, I don't want to say superficial because to some people, trans rights and whatnot is their life, right? But like when we're talking about censorship of news and when we're talking about how much the prices have gone up, when we're talking about homelessness, drug problems in Vancouver, especially where all of it is legalized right now, we're talking not 1 or 2% of the population. We're talking 100% of the population. And those are the problems that people should be focused on. And like with all of this stuff going, like it's just,
and ironically, it affects those groups too. Like if you censor people, because then it's just like whoever they is decide what the thing is, then they they've got control of that now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's only not weird till it happens to your group. But if everyone's rights are getting taken away, especially like them censoring shit, then it's like, well, then you control all the cards here.
And man, like we're in Texas right now and people are like, oh, like super right wing, this, that. Like, geez, there's like there's gay bars, there's everything. You were just on a lineup with a trans comic. Like it's not, you don't come here and they bet, like it's fine.
Well, what I love about Austin.
It's everybody here.
Yeah.
Like I guess maybe Texas might be right wing, but Austin This to me is the closest center that I've ever, and I'm more of a center guy. I feel like most rational people are like nobody who even is like a conservative minded person is I burn the gays, fucking no black people. Nobody's really saying
that's
that.
just the shit that gets on social media because it's provocative.
Yes, but yeah, nobody's saying that. Most people are like, look, we want things to be a little bit cheaper. We want the right to free thought. But yeah, everybody gets human rights. Like that goes without saying. But I feel like Austin is the closest to center to a place that I've ever been.
Yeah.
So
And still a super big city.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
yeah, like I was just at a friend's place. I did a podcast. I went here. There's a whole other side of Austin I didn't even see. It's like all these restaurants, all these.
Oh yeah, there's so many different neighborhoods here. So like, yeah, whatever you want to do, there's like plenty of it here. It's pretty diverse in like terms of places you can go and all that shit.
Yeah, and you lived in LA too, so I guess you kind of feel a little bit like you know what it's like to be in more of like the similar culture to what we have in Toronto, although it was still, the States, so it's different, but it's definitely a shift for you. I'm assuming just in life in general, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice not having to be in traffic. People complain about the traffic here, but the traffic in LA is insane.
Yeah.
But in LA, at least comedy-wise, it was split up between the club scene and the alt scene. The alt scene wanted to like be in movies, and the club scene wanted to be stand-ups.
Right.
And so they were at constant odds.
Yeah.
And then
Interesting.
But here it's really cool because it just feels like, hey, you're in this for you, so you gotta do what you need to do.
And I do feel like
which is it's like, because that's what it is for everyone, is like, hey, you need to figure this out, and here's a really good area to like be like, all right, figure your shit out.
I feel like people that come here though, they're here for comedy. Like if you're a comic, and those people do exist. A lot of them, the comics that are doing it as a way to get into acting, like go to LA or New York, right? If people that are
you'll have a better time there.
Yeah, I feel like if you're coming here, it's for comedy, period.
Yes.
Right? Which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so many like crazy mics and shit, and that's the cool thing we were talking about earlier. Is like, so many people have podcasts. If you want to get something done here, there are the people and the equipment and the means to do so.
Right. Yeah. Like we were just there's like studios to do podcasts.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
I reached out to Creek in the Cave, and they have a podcast studio, and like
Yeah.
like, I brought my equipment and I have a cool setup here. But like if I wanted to, just go there, whip out a podcast, and it's good. And like the infrastructure is here. It's literally like they know their target audience. They know who's living here, so they kind of help us out, and it's great. So
Hell yeah,
it's awesome. I also we were talking the other day. I heard you're on a keto diet.
Yeah, dude, I'm full keto now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
For how long?
About 5 weeks.
Right.
Oh, wow.
5
Okay.
weeks.
Yeah.
How are the
So,
shits?
yeah.
The shits have been getting a lot better.
Yeah.
They're smaller. I didn't realize that when you are on a diet, people, it makes sense because I'm eating like, more nutrient dense foods.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was just like, oh, I didn't know this is what the size of shits were.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like when I poo, it doesn't spell SOS.
Yeah.
You're right.
Not
You're right. It's just
Help. You look in the toilet. Huh.
interesting.
Why is it written in red?
Exactly.
Whoops.
Yeah. So I'm angry all the time. I think the angriest. I'm so
I
pissed.
love that.
Yeah, I'm so fucking angry. I think the angriest I get is I eat ground beef, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like my teeth are perfectly positioned to get beef crammed in between my teeth. And then it creates pressure like an alligator. You know how
my
like
God.
alligators, they like,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
the birds come pick them out, but I don't have any birds on me. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm just swimming around
All you got is
piss all
toothpicks,
day.
man.
Dude, that's so
Fuck.
Yeah, and then I got, and I'm bringing these like fucking toothpicks. I look like a psycho in public. I
Yeah.
got like a purple contraption.
Yeah. Oh, you use the little floss picks, right?
the
Yo, those are
flossers.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah,
Those are necessary. That's awesome. And then like because I guess your body does absorb the protein way more well because when you're eating protein, right? Like it's just amino acids, and your body has only so much to fucking to use, right? Like carbs and fiber and all of that, that's out. So your body has to make do with whatever's in that meat. So you're taking it all in, every piece you can get.
Oh yeah,
Nothing's coming out.
Yeah, yeah, it's wild.
Did you have that, like, what's it called, the keto cold in the first day or two?
I never heard about that. What's
Yeah,
that?
I definitely, there was a day in particular I felt like, oh, this is shitty. And
Coming
then
down with something like a.
it was just like I need all of the things that I haven't been having the last 3 days.
You're like in detox, basically,
yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Your body's
Wow.
craving it.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. So
And then you get over that.
you get over that.
Okay.
But still angry.
Okay, still
Yeah.
angry, yeah.
No, but luckily now, like most of my days are free, so I just spend a lot more time cooking than I used to.
Nice.
Oh, great. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
and that's fun too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Put on a podcast and you make yourself something. It's nice.
Yeah, I
It's
throw
right,
on
yeah.
2 bears and I fucking make some
Hey.
Brussels sprouts and shit.
Yeah,
And then
that's
realize that I wasn't supposed to leave the roots on, so I just eat a bunch of roots.
Yeah.
You know,
Jesus
so I'm
Christ.
relearning it because I was like fit. Like when I was in college, I was fat and then got fit, and then so I've done it once before, but that was like 8 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Your body remembers, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm slowly like picking up on the things that I used to. I'm back in gym culture. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, you got your like AirPods in, your hoodie on, you're like, I'm coming back, baby.
Yeah.
Just you wait.
Yeah.
We're sponsored by
Exactly.
steroids, so we'll
Yeah.
give you some before you leave.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah,
No.
I'd love some.
Yeah.
That's great. How have you guys always been like fit guys?
I was like, I looked like a thumb in high school, like literally like short hair and chubby.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was a really late bloomer. Like
okay.
fucking first year of university, I still look like I was 12 years old. Like until so in Canada, in Toronto, there used to be a thing where you can ride the TTC, that's your public transport, for free if you're under the age of, I believe it was 16.
Oh, okay.
I was doing that until second year of university, so I was like already 20.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and like
Got
not
it.
a problem. The bus driver didn't even ask me for my like fucking ID or whatever. He's just, yeah, this guy's fucking underage.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
So then
yeah.
you were taking the buses.
Yeah.
and
I
then-
was. I always looked like I had AIDS or something. I was
Yeah.
very gaunt.
You just
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Godly.
Yeah, like I guess like I got like unhealthy skinny type of thing because like I'm very fortunate that I have a fast metabolism, but if I don't actively eat and work out, I also had if I don't like exhaust myself, then I won't sleep. So yeah, like my health was in question for other reasons. Yeah, I got.
But it sounds
down.
like for you a little bit of like mental stuff
It's all
as well.
that. It's all like we don't have to get into it on the pod.
Yeah, yeah.
I have like severe PTSD, and people watching the pod, you see me cracking my neck like every 3 seconds. Like it's just, but like there's nothing like fitness that was able to genuinely like wring out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clear your mind.
Yeah, all the negative
Yeah.
mental feelings that I've ever had. Like I've been in therapy for 10 years now, and it was great, but nothing really did it quite like just getting a good sweat on and
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for me. It's about like punishing myself, but it's in a positive way.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Let's
know.
go.
You
Yeah.
know?
go to the
I
gym
can't
with a
think
ball
about the
gag
sad
on.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like, you know, and then also like rage.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
get that out. And then I realize after there's that like drive home where you're just like, oh, I shouldn't be taking this as seriously as I'm taking it.
Yeah.
In what way? Like,
Like life in general, or like
Like just, I don't know, like personal slights or like
Yeah,
things I
yeah.
perceive as like personal slights.
yeah.
And then I'm just driving home like I'm doing what I can. It's
Yeah,
chill.
yeah.
I love that.
But in the gym it's fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get to
Have you ever tried martial arts?
No, I haven't. But I was the first time I got fit, I was training to be a boxer and I loved that. That was
Nice.
really fun.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of like killing someone
Yeah,
hand
punching
to
them in
hand.
the face.
And the
Yeah.
sentence there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love the
I
idea of
want to
killing.
kill
Yo, did you
someone.
notice that all the security guys at the mothership, cauliflower ear, bro? Joe knows who to get, man. Those guys, like, you see that cauliflower ear, fucking, like, that's like so I've been doing martial arts my whole life, like,
Yeah, oh wow.
and Kyle has been doing it too. He does Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Like we
I just do ball grabs though.
yeah,
That's
just
my thing.
ball grabs, jiu-jitsu,
Signature
'cause,
move.
yeah, I like to fucking fondle.
I bite. I'm not a fighter. I'm a biter.
yeah.
Catch me in
chill.
the ring.
Yeah. No, but like
That's cool. You guys are both fighters from Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
you wouldn't expect
I'm
it,
the
right?
bite force of a hyena or the saltwater croc. Like I'm looking at 1300 psi, and I
that's
can
impressive.
genuinely run on all fours. That's my top speed is when I'm
Yeah.
on all fours. A little bit about me, anyway.
great.
If I've learned anything about martial arts training my whole life, it's that you know, if you're in a street fight, first of all, it's not like being in a sanctioned fight. Like you hit first, and if you can, run. But if you see a guy with cauliflower ear, just like suck his cock right away because you're not winning.
Because you're not winning that fight.
You're just like, and he's probably gonna chase you because he does jujitsu and his cardio is better than yours. So just like, just submit right away, right? Pretend you want a spot from him, and he's like one of those Toronto producers. Just say like whatever you want me to do. Like my butthole's open for you. Like whatever.
Right. The security over at Mothership's no joke. They're,
Oh yeah, we know.
It was
They're wild.
cool though. It
Yeah.
made me feel like, oh, comedy's cool.
Oh, it's
like
awesome.
this is exclusive.
Dude, one of those guys, Arash, has been my personal trainer over the last few months.
Hell, dude, I
He's
love
Awesome.
that.
He's just like he's cauliflower eared up,
Yeah.
and he could just kill a man, but then very nice, you know.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
They're nice.
I was
They're
gonna
nice.
say, like, when I first started Muay Thai, I was actually like, I never threw a punch before in my life. I was 26, COVID happened, and I'm up in Canada. I was gonna go on tour, and everything got canceled. But my guy I shared a house with had like 20 fights, and he lost his job at the gym, so he just started training people like in the backyard, and I started training with him. And this is a guy who could genuinely like take my life at any given moment. And he was the most patient with me, most considerate. Oh, that's okay, you're learning. And then it really taught me lessons in humility. To take it back to, like, you know, comics who get a show and what do the power tripping thing. It's like, look at this guy who had so much power over me when I was vulnerable, treat me with so much respect and care. What type of guy would I be if I'm in a position where I'm like that one day and I don't act humble as well? So it really did teach me like a lesson like that. Yeah. I still hurt homeless people when I can. Yes. But
other than that,
Yeah.
other than that, but they're bugs. They're not like us.
Yeah, no. Especially if
Round 'em up
they're
in the
Jewish,
face.
man. I will fucking.
Make them, dude. They should. Do you have A&W here or no?
I don't know if we do in the city, but we have A&W.
Hey man, homeless people are the new Beyond Meat burger. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if you have that either. Fuck.
No.
My reference. That's why I got to come to
No, we have
America.
Beyond Meat
oh, you
burgers,
do? Oh, it
yeah.
just wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Okay, noted.
No, you know what? I'm also a little high, so I'm like maybe 0.5 seconds behind both of you. But
Yeah, it's like in the news where it's live. Like, thank you, man.
I'm on the live feed over here.
Great. Yeah, that's awesome. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Homeless, yeah.
No, but I was gonna say, yeah, I've been training my whole life too, and that like when you're in a room full of killers, you realize that they're the nicest people. The guys that can fuck anybody up, they're the ones that are nice, and it's the people that like don't know how to fight or are new that have the little chip on their shoulders and show their ego. And it's like that in comedy too. Like, you know, like we've been, you know, around, we've probably met people that are trying to like flex whatever in comedy, right? Like, I've done this, I've done that, and, you know, maybe show their ego. But at the end of the day, the nicest people in comedy that I've met are the ones that are the most successful, right? Like Christina P, point in case, right? Nobody, like, I'm lucky to even be here. She's the reason I'm here. Like, there's nobody that's been nicer. She's given me so many opportunities.
How did that all happen?
Tom reposted one of my videos online on his story.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so it was on his story, and obviously, you know, Tom's married to Christina P.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
saw it, and she, I guess, clicked on my profile, and my last name is Puzhitsky, which
Yes,
is very similar to
close.
Puzhitsky. And she's like, yo, is this, and she saw I was a comic, you know, I had some like content out. She's like, is this your actual last? So she DM'd me, right? Here I am, Tom Segura just reposted my story. I'm like, holy shit. And then I get a DM from Christina P. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, is that your actual last name? We started talking, and we have a very similar background. Like I'm Ukraine, like Russian, Ukrainian, Polish, right? She's like Hungarian, Eastern Europe. She's actually Canadian too. I don't know if you knew this.
Oh no, I had no idea.
She was born in Windsor, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we have all of this shit in common.
Yeah.
And we ended up talking. I did the 23andMe, by the way. We're not related. So we're not related. It's not nepotism, all right? Just because I'm fun, no. But so she was just in Toronto, touring, and she's like, "Hey, open for me." I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Like,
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's it.
So then you do the shows, and then she's in Austin, so that's great.
Yeah. So then I came here. She hooked me up. Couldn't be more thankful.
Damn,
but my
that's
point
awesome.
is, she's Christina P. and I'm me. She has nothing to gain from me. She's doing this out of the kindness of her heart, right?
Yeah.
And that's that shows you she's, she got to where she is for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that she's doing this for me, and as a comedian kind of on the come up, it inspires me that if I ever make it, I want to be the same kind of way. I want to make somebody feel the way she's made me feel, because I feel like a fucking Make-A-Wish kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the dark side of that, I'm a man of revenge, and I will always remember the people who fucked with me on the way.
Yeah, on the opposite side. Yeah.
And that's just it, right? No, but it's
That's true.
Yeah. I just picture you speeding to a show.
Yeah.
I am, dude. I have fucking sunglasses at night.
With a fucking picking your teeth after you have
spitting out ground beef, just fucking going past the speed limit.
Ground beef, hot sauce, dude. Yeah. It's great because she doesn't have to do anything nice, but it means the world when someone like that does something for you.
To me, right?
Yeah, right.
To me. And to her, it's just whatever, and she doesn't have to.
Right.
And that's true abundance, too.
Yeah.
I meditate and stuff like that, and that's the mentality.
What?
He's like, yo, I know, but I mean, but that's the thing. We're talking about scarcity mindset, right? And then there's the abundance mindset. And I'm not going to continue. I feel you guys going,
no. It's fine. I just
keep
love how
Austin
you
weird over here.
Great.
but anyway, you got
Bro,
my point.
I just gave him a lecture on Marcus Aurelius yesterday, but that was off camera. I'm trying to look cool right now.
Oh, you guys got to go to Bastrop while you're here. There's this guy, Ryan Holiday. He's an author, and he does a bunch of stuff on Stoicism, and he has a bunch of. But
I know him. I know.
Yeah, you've seen. You've definitely seen it. He does Stoicism stuff, and he's an author, and he made a little bookshop just outside of town, and it's got it's like a curated bookshop, so they pick all the books that go into it, as well as him being an author.
That's awesome.
So cool.
But you're talking about the mindset of abundance, and
and
he talks about a lot of that stuff, so you might like it.
The Daily Stoic. I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, it's that guy.
He lives here?
He's got a bookstore in Bastrop, which is 25 minutes outside town.
To go there.
Yeah,
it's a real good day. And then they got a park right outside of it, and you can take a great walk. It's great. Yeah, it's naturey and shit. It's
That's
great.
awesome.
I feel like Austin's so designed for
creatives. I feel
creative, art and exactly, because the live music before the comedy. It's we noticed this in the lockdown. The second that happened, they're like, all right, fun, fuck off. Whereas here,
fun
they're
is non-essential.
People need fun. And we're just going to block off 8 streets so people can fuck outside.
Yeah. People do have fun here.
But it's you're right. It's very important.
Yeah.
Whereas where we're from, it's just put on your gray pantsuit and get in line. I don't know, shovel Tim Hortons in your mouth, blah, blah, blah. But you know what I mean? It's just I feel like it's the city's designed almost for pleasure in a way.
Absolutely. And the comics have the same mentality. Me and my friends sometimes we'll do shit during the day a lot, and then sometimes we'll all agree to sometimes we take a night off from comedy, but we all do something as a group, and that's so fun.
That's important too.
Yeah, to also be experiencing the world around us, not just comedy.
Because you go here, you're in the city, but you're jumping from spot to spot, club to club, and you're kind of, when you're doing shows, you're focused. You do a show, you're like, fuck, I missed that tag, I could do that, but you're in your head. You're not around and
No,
presence,
no,
right?
it's all like, yeah, that joke doesn't fucking work, and fucking, Sarah Jens Johnson is fucking.
Yeah,
she said
she
that
was
one
there,
thing,
yeah.
and she introduced me weird, and does everyone think I'm a fucking freak? You know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then you go. That's why I like going to that bachelor place. I was like, oh, people buy books, and they and they like go to restaurants and fuck off. You
I
know.
actually noticed the other day when I talked to you, you did your spot at the East Austin Comedy Club, and then after we were talking a bit, you're like, yeah, like you'll come over on Monday, and then I'm like, what are you doing for the rest of the night? You're like, oh, I'm gonna do a spot, and then I'm actually gonna go out. And when you said that, you had like this like delight on your face. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna go out and chill. I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah,
you were happy, like you were excited.
I love chilling. I love
But
chilling.
that's what makes you funny.
Yeah.
Right? Because like
You're just living, yeah.
when you like hang out with the people you grew up with that sort of curated who you are, right? Like when you connect to that again, that's sort of like, that Green Lantern where he charges his ring and then I don't know if that's too nerdy of a reference, but that's sort of what you're doing when you're going out and you made your friend laugh, and that's your voice is when you're around that more. And it's weird that sometimes in that rat race of becoming a better comedian that isn't really emphasized on being important, but it's so important.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Because you're hanging out with like the funniest people in your area or whatever, right? If they're comedians, and you get a lot from it, right? Like to hang out with comedians is important. And honestly, it's, we don't really like, that's mostly what we do. Like, honestly, if like,
right.
So, but at the end of the day, it is different. Like, because I feel like when I hang out with like my actual friends who are actual people, non-comics, we're
not friends?
Yeah.
Not you.
Not after that meditation bullshit, man.
You never want to do breath work with me, Matthew.
Not when we're fucking cuddling in bed, man.
Please.
Yeah. Why are you always erect when you ask me to do it, though?
Instead of tap your shoulder, I put my hard dick on his back. 3 pokes.
Yeah.
Let's do our breath work. 4 in, 3 out.
Oh, shit.
Your dick flops on your belly every time you breathe in.
How has it been sharing a 1-bedroom while you guys have been here?
It's been fine.
It's not. You guys seem like a nice like married couple where you're like, oh, you guys like bicker and like,
Yeah.
I come out of the bathroom with those curls and I tap on this way. I'm like, putting cups on the bed again.
Yeah.
And then never
you left
dropping
the toilet seat down, you bitch.
Yeah, never dropping the breathwork thing.
No.
Like that. He doesn't. It's just if you breathed more.
Yeah.
That's so. Dude, this place is so awesome though, man. You guys are like right in the mix of it. And
it's a great area.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even know that it was a great area. I think the price was reasonable. Was it more
dude,
so?
it's under, like I said, like we're splitting it, and we paid like total for the 2 weeks something like $1,200. But anyways, it like 1,600. I don't remember if it was Canadian or American, but at the end of the day, it comes down to less than $30 a night. Like,
yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
This location and this place is great.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too. I am very conscious about money because ideally the point for me, at least, I am trying to move here within the year. Mm-hmm. But in doing that, the visa for America is like, it's like $12,000 for the piece of paper, and then you need 20 in your checking so they know you're not going to just go on welfare.
Right.
So every trip I make down, the reason why I haven't been back in a while is because I've been piecing together my visa to actually move here,
Yeah.
Because like every trip down here is like pushing back the actual moving date by like 3 months, 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, financially.
Yeah.
But I have OnlyFans now, so
so get that money quick.
Yeah, we can do some fucking
it's all
collabs.
breath work though on the OnlyFans.
Actually, we had this whole setup pointed at the bed like 2 hours ago, and we got some content done.
You came in here, we just turned it around.
Yeah. Yo, why is your bed brown, man? Like, what are those spots?
We got $8 today.
We've been up since 5 a.m.
Yo, thank you, Satan Slayer 69 for the tip, bro.
Yeah.
That was
You know what's
luck,
crazy
dude.
is I have to pee right now, and I checked my Fitbit to see how much room I have in my dick to hold my pee.
Yo, I need to get a Fitbit and start doing
when you
breath
check your
work.
heart rate, I was
Fitbits
like,
are-
how much pee is till I have to pee? I'm gonna pee. You guys talk about pee.
Can you check if the camera's still rolling? By the way,
It'd be funny if it wasn't turned on the whole time. Yeah.
it's still rolling. Okay, we're good. Yo, I'm paranoid because that thing has like stopped on me. Like, this was a month ago, but I'm still on that shit. But yeah, so have you been getting creative in the kitchen with this keto shit?
Yeah. Well, my game is like go simple as possible. So I go Costco microwavable broccoli a lot, super quick.
Yeah, so you can have some carbs and like what kind of...
Yeah. No, I can do. It's not. I guess
not
exclusively.
carnivore.
It's not carnivore. It's meat, veggies, and then sometimes my trainer allows me to do like an apple or two.
Have you tried that vegan cauliflower fried chicken bullshit, or is that
No,
Because you can have meat. You can have actual fried chicken.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can have chicken. I can have like beef, steak. I do steak a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Costco is great. Honestly, it would be good for you guys. They have like these pre-made steaks or like the sous vide.
Right.
I don't know how to, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, we don't really have a kitchen. Oh, we have fridge, microwave, so
That's
and a
all you
toaster.
need, dude.
Yeah.
If you guys ever need to go to Costco while you're here, it's pretty
You got that
efficient.
membership, bro?
Yeah.
All right,
dude.
hook me up.
I
have a Canadian membership. I wonder if that'll transfer.
I'm sure.
If you just show up, but then you have to on the way out, you have to scan the card, right? I think it'll work. Because I do have a Costco membership.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Googleable.
Yeah, dude, we should go to Costco to pack up on groceries instead of just getting tacos every day. Yeah, welcome back. By the way, what's your percentage at? Did you go to 0 or are you still at like?
Wait,
5?
is that real?
No,
No,
I
it's
just,
not, bro.
but like,
You're like, holy, that's
I had to pee, and I was just like, well, I don't want to interrupt the podcast, and I literally looked at my watch, like, how much room do I have? I was like, what am I doing here?
It probably will be that advanced one day.
Dude,
Yeah,
like you're
for
just like
sure.
Tony Stark, like all fucking
Yeah.
your pissometer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Apple just came out with their like fucking goggles
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Well, we
Red
saw-
Ben was fucking
Yeah.
talking about that. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, like I saw him. He like, this was the funniest thing I've ever seen. So he was just about to go up on stage. I forget what he said because there's a thing you say to activate, but I'm gonna like paraphrase what I remember. They're like, give it up for your host, Brian Redband. He's like, Siri, activate camera, and just fucking
Yeah.
And he, like, went
He's
up on
like,
stage.
Jarvis, turn funny mode on.
His
Fucking
thing just
like,
glowed, and it was like, it was hilarious.
Dude, Brian's living in the future.
Yo,
he always
The
is.
guy-
He's always
yo.
like 2 steps ahead. It's crazy.
when we were there, he brought a guy that he met for the first time, but they were buddies because they're friends from VR. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
They have like a whole VR group and they hang out in real life.
Yeah.
That guy Yonder Wizard
Yeah.
moved to Austin because they all hung out on VR.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah,
Fuck,
so nuts.
Is he? It's like a tech genius, right? Brian's like
Yeah, he's always like trying to the latest technology that'll hit everyone in like 3 years, you know?
Wow.
Yeah,
He's
he-
always the first one. Yeah.
Did he ever talk about AI before it became popular?
I'm sure he did. He loves that shit.
Oh my god.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Christina told me too, like that Joe was always like the first to hop on everything. Like when, like, because they've known each other for so long. She's like, when cell phones were just a thing, he was the first one to be walking around with that fucking suitcase cell phone and shit like that, right?
Because he's such a curious person.
Yeah, genuinely.
I feel like I know him because all I watch is Joe Rogan.
That's true, and that's why, like, look, like he was the first to hop on the podcasting thing. He made that a thing, and he's like first in a lot of areas, and that's why he's in the door early, and he's, changed the game. And despite all of this, like, it's insane. He moved here, and he literally changed the economy of a fucking city, right?
Yeah.
And despite that, he's just a dude.
Yeah.
He doesn't let it get to his head somehow, man.
I wouldn't know. I mean, I'd imagine you would have to have such control over like all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Because because he's also like an incredible fighter and like super into gym and health and nutrition. And then between comedy, UFC, and then having the biggest podcast, it's like I can't even imagine what that day looks like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I watched 2,000 Instagram reels in my bed this morning.
Yeah.
And high, you know. So-
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
And you're like, fuck, man. That was
so
productive.
it's so cool to see. Yeah, people now travel to Austin specifically to go to Mothership. It's like a
Yeah,
destination.
totally.
Yeah.
It brings in its own tourism.
This is like-
so it's crazy.
This is when they talk about like comedy meccas. like they say New York and LA, that's like what it used to be, but
Yeah,
now
this is
Austin
it.
is like
Yeah,
a
Austin's
mecca.
in the mix.
Yeah,
too.
and for comedy specifically, because like I said, if you wanna do acting, go to New York or LA, right? I really like that everybody here is like a true comic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is great. And maybe maybe not everybody, but for the most part, way more than in any other scene, because you just
Yeah, this is comedy focused.
yeah, and every like conversations are just so smooth because you can actually talk to people that care about it and aren't there just to like fucking do their tight five in front of some producer and be like, did you like me? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hopefully,
Right.
right? They just want to be funny, which is amazing. This is how you get better.
Right, because then if when you're in a sea of that, it's just so exhausting.
Yeah.
Like sometimes because it's just like, oh, and then those are the same people that usually are like, oh, you shouldn't say that joke, and it's
Yeah,
like,
they
Right?
tell you. They
yeah,
tell you.
it's like, well,
Because-
I'm not trying to be on fucking,
Yeah, I'm not trying to be
Yeah.
on fucking Friends.
yeah.
And like, okay, I'm sure-
And good on you if you are, but like, don't
that's
fuck
fine.
with me. Don't fuck with me in this room at 8 people in a State Farm's insurance.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
do what you want. Don't fuck with me when I'm
yeah,
being Japanese in a building.
that's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
I'm sure this has been said before too in other ways, but like in other forms of like art, like in visual art, like painting, you could paint with red and you could paint with black to convey that emotion. And music, you could do a minor chord to create that moodiness. We are very naked and we only have words, and so we sort of have to say like something maybe graphic or maybe something offensive, but it's like conflated with endorsing it when it's
Yeah.
just we're just saying it like it's a joke. Like that's our art. The art is making everything a joke.
Yeah.
So it's just it's interesting how it's like
I don't understand when like context went out of the window.
Yeah. I actually
yeah,
don't
no, it's
understand
crazy. It's honestly crazy.
anything you just said. That just went way over my
Really?
head. What?
Okay, so like, so for instance, like you get canceled for a joke.
Okay.
Right? An artist made a joke.
Okay.
Right, and the person got canceled for it.
Okay.
So that's I don't know if you know the song. Like, what's a sad song? Like Whiskey Lullaby. Do you guys know that song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's sad. It's moody. It's like, or metal songs or whatever. But like, let's just take that Whiskey Lullaby song. Even though I don't really know the. Oh, okay. Better example. Before he cheats, I drove my key into the side of
Yeah, yeah,
his.
yeah.
It's like, well, you admitted to a crime, jail. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, it's like it's art.
Carrie
right?
Underwood, you sack of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got that beat. It's got that fucking
That's
minor
true.
chord.
Yeah, that's true,
the
that's true, that's
moodiness,
true. Yeah.
and you sort of like
It's
it
a feeling, it's
lubricates
not-
what she's saying.
Yeah.
and bolsters that to be okay. This is actually a piece of art that's relatable.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
allowed to be like it's allowed to be fictional or like based on something else.
Totally.
But
Yeah.
like when people hear a joke, they're like, "No, that's what Kyle is saying."
Yes.
Yeah,
Because-
that's what Kyle
yeah.
means.
Well, we don't have the instruments, we don't have the paint, we don't have the makeup, we don't have the costumes to sort of bolster this to be fictional. We merely have like in a sense we're naked in a way. Like we have our facial expressions, we have our words, we have our act outs, but it's like completely up to you and your body and your voice, which makes it pretty like cool to see people create these universes through that. Like a fan of comedy,
Yeah.
and that's I feel like why Austin. The audience here are comedy fans because when you could say something that's XYZ offensive, they know you're joking
Well, but,
because
like,
they know about comedy.
Comics too, kind of, because like I was just listening to Rogan's pod right before you guys we did this, and he had Jeff Dye on just now, and Jeff was talking about
Nice.
he was talking about how a lot of like newer comics take like song lyrics, right? It's like a classic, like, rookie kind of type joke, right? Like you take a song lyric and you go like, this person said this, what the fuck, that doesn't make any sense, right? Because they look past, like, it's an artist making a metaphor. Of course it doesn't make sense. It's about a feeling. It's about like, when like Kanye raps about something, it's not because he actually did it. He's trying to get across.
Well, he probably did it. Kanye?
Yeah, maybe Kanye, but like you said, right? It's like it's poetry. It's a metaphor, right? And you don't just take it literally.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I liked that Ryan Holiday guy. He talked about like the same concepts. He's like, it's so funny that in rap music, all these guys are like talking about making millions of dollars and like, you know, hitting bitches and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
when in reality, that guy has $80 in his bank account right now because he's a new artist.
Right.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
$3.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that doesn't make the song not awesome.
Yeah,
Right.
You
that's
know?
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, because it's a feeling, right? It's a vibe, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys ready to hit the gym?
Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, it's been an
Yeah.
hour. Great talk.
We did
Yeah.
legs day yesterday, so now we have dick and butt day today.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, bro.
Classic Monday.
Go
Let's
do
meet in
some
the
breath
sauna.
work. All right, man. Dylan, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah,
It's been
thanks
sick.
for having me.
Dude,
Yeah,
you're the man.
good to
Thank
talk
you
to
for
you
paying
guys.
us a
Good
visit.
shit.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir. Thank you,
All
Matt.
right, let's
Fun
go
times.
fucking get yoked.
Let's
Thanks
do
for
it.
listening, everybody.